Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout as we look ahead to game week 7. My name is Joe and today I'm joined by Mark, aka the FPL General. Welcome, Mark. How are you?
I'm good, Joe. Had a lovely weekend with the family. My brother-in-law was visiting for the weekend, so we were out and about, which was good. Good distraction from all things FPL
Right.
because somehow, 21 points.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to look at your team. Yeah. So the old adage, good week to have a bad week and bad week to have a. That was a bad week to have a bad week because of all of the you're going Haaland and Salah-less and Haaland absolutely kicked off. I think. I mean, I've still got Dewsbury Hall to play, but if I hadn't have triple captained Haaland, I'd be on about your points as well. So that just shows the power of him. But I would say definitely you're getting away without Salah. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, if it was just him, I'd be fine.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So before we go on, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look back at Mark's week. And more importantly, we're going to look at his team so far and have a look at what he's going to do to sort of climb up the rankings from that. He has 3 free transfers. And I said, genuinely, before we came on air, I was jealous of his team. And he said, genuinely, I can have it if he wants. But because he's got 3 free transfers and there's a lot of moves, I've only got 1. I've only got 0.1 in the bank. So I might have to make some more drastic moves. But yeah, I'm quite envious of that. So we're going to have a look at some defenders to choose from, some midfielders to choose from, some forwards to choose from. We'll have a look at that captaincy matrix again, which is particularly good for Mark because of the lack of Haaland and Salah in his team. And we'll have a look at the fixtures as well. Okay, so let's have a look, see how you got on. So yeah, 21 points. It's not your worst ever, but it's getting there.
Yeah, second worst ever. I had to go back and double check. I did score 19 points in 2019. I think it was Heung-min Son red card and among other things. But it's funny, I've been enjoying, I've seen a few people posting their anti-FPL teams on Twitter this season, where they try and score as
Yeah.
few points as possible. And I specifically liked a post on Saturday morning, seeing one of those teams, and I didn't realize my own team was going to be competing with them this
Yeah.
week for lack of points. So yeah, it was a disaster. It was transfer wise. I did Cody Gakpo out for captain Bruno Fernandes. So first game of the game week, having Cunha as well. It couldn't have gone any worse. Bruno I think got 11 def cons, missed the pen, and even if that had gone in. It wouldn't have been too bad because, like you say, most teams struggled this week without, Haaland did a lot of the heavy
Yeah.
lifting, captains and triple captains. So even though I've had a disaster of a game week, I actually feel like it could have been a lot worse because a lot of the popular guys didn't actually perform, Salah, for example, as well. So, yes, it was an absolute shocker. But I don't think things can get any worse for me now. I'm trying to see the positives. A lot of people have used triple captains. I was up against other chips that week as well. It was funny. I was at the Celtic game on Saturday, and I checked the Premier League scores about the 85th, 86th minute mark, and I was feeling quite smug actually because Haaland obviously hadn't done anything at that point. And
Yeah.
by the time I walked out to the car and got my phone signal back, it was yeah, wasn't pretty reading looking at
No.
the late brace.
No, we were looking at us triple captains of Haaland. We're looking at 15 points until the last few minutes, and then yeah, just came along. I also had Fernandes in my team as well. I couldn't even stay in the room when he took taking the penalty because I knew he'd miss. I just went and made a cup of tea and came back and knew the inevitable.
What made it worse? I was sitting in the car before I went into the stadium. I was listening to it on the Five Live or Talk Sport, whatever it was, and it took absolutely forever. I think it took maybe 6 minutes or something before he took the actual pen.
Yeah,
Felt like 2 hours for me.
yeah. They would. I think they would VAR checking a red card. I think or something like that was going on.
Yeah.
There. So yeah, it's a tough week. I'll just go through the team just for the benefit of those listening to the podcast version. You have Martinez in goal. You got Virgil van Dijk, blank, Porro, just the 1 point. I personally, I was pleased he came on because I had Electric Steve with his -2 as my first defender sub. So I welcome that point. Cucurella 0, Kudos blank. Semenyo, standard, 7 points. Fernandes, as we talked about, is a -2 there because of captaincy. Reinders blank, Cunha blank, Pedro blank, Gokares blank. On the bench, Dubravka blank, Chris Wood blank, Anderson, Defcon. 5 out of 6 weeks he's got that. And Munoz looking tricky. So yeah, you've got 3 free transfers. Okay, well let's put your team up here and see how it's looking this week. But bearing in mind you've got 3 free transfers, which is good. So Yeah, you've got 3.2 million in the bank, 3 free transfers. I mean, the world's your oyster for this one. So what's sort of your initial thoughts before we sort of delve into some of the defenders, midfielders, and forwards you can consider?
Yeah, 3 free transfers. I wish I had 15 free transfers because they'd all be getting booted out if I had that. But yeah, the plan was always this week was to target Arsenal because the fixtures take a big upturn. They've got
Yep.
West Ham at home, and it was actually not just for me, but for a lot of people, it was frustrating to see Gabriel get his 13-pointer against Newcastle because a lot of us have been kind of waiting until game week 7 to go there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the initial plan. It's probably Saka, get Gabriel, and then it's a question of do I actually use a third transfer, which is why I'm looking forward to seeing some of these tables as well.
Okay.
So I'll just read out the team at the moment, and I mean, look, this team was absolutely terrible last week, but on paper it looks fine for the upcoming game week. Martinez is at home to Burnley. Hopefully get a clean sheet there. Virgil against Chelsea. Maybe not a clean sheet, but always chance of DEFCON. Munoz plays Everton. He was close to scoring again at the weekend. Anderson, steady Eddie, DEFCON guy. Kudus was really good again at the weekend. Had a goal ruled out. Feel like he's been dodging points recently. So not in a, don't feel like I need to sell him. He's got good fixtures. Semenyo should be in every team. Bruno still has the armband, but not sure if he'll get to keep it after what he just did. But again, home to Sunderland. I've got Cunha home to Sunderland as well. I think as a lot of people are rightly pointing out when I post my team, maybe a little too much faith in Manchester United.
Yeah.
So it might be Cunha who goes for Saka, because I'm quite happy with Kudus, Semenyo, Reinders. Frustrating as well, City scored 5, Reinders not involved. Just one of those things. And then up front, Joe Pedro, who I'm not feeling great about at the moment, so we'll explore some other forwards. Gyökeres hasn't been great, but the fixtures do improve.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to have, I think a lot of people will have Gabriel Saka and Gyökeres. And then on the bench, Chris Wood, happy to leave him on the bench now. Cucurella plays Liverpool, and Porro, who was benched, is
Yeah.
at Leeds. So once we
Okay.
make a couple of transfers, then things will be looking pretty strong.
Yeah, so what this could look like, instead of Cunha, you've got Saka there, who might get the armband. Then you would also have move a defender to Gabriel.
Yeah, probably it'll be Porro or Cucurella.
So one of those two to Gabriel. So that automatically looks a bit better. So you can perhaps, you could even bench Virgil van Dijk if you wanted.
Possible.
And then there's a possibility of a forward as well. So, so this will look very, very different in come game week 7. Okay, let's have a look at defenders. So so it's Porro or Cucurella on your sort of watch list to remove. Yeah, I've got Porro myself, and yeah, when I wildcard, he will go because he's just not worth the extra money. Van de Ven and Romero. I still like the Spurs defence. I still think they're good at set pieces. I still think got attacking threat. So anyway, what I've done is I've sorted this by minutes per expected goal involvement. So this is my attacking defenders table I've got in the Fantasy Football Scout members area. And that's a timely reminder. Do check out fantasyfootballscout.co.uk for latest offers. Get membership. You can get access to various tools and gadgets. Make your own tables like I do as well. Also, do remember, press that like button. Do remember subscribe. Keep updated with the latest videos and podcasts. Always got to put that bit in. So I've sorted it by minutes per expected goal involvement. I've also included defensive contribution points per appearance. We can start doing that now. And so you get 2 defensive contribution points if you hit the threshold. Some players have hit that every single week. So they're worth considering as well. So they've got, just looking at multiple routes to points, so I've included goals, attempts in the box as well. So you're looking at that sort of particularly set piece threat for defenders, and chances created as well. So you've got, and I've got corners, whether they're on corners or not as well, because that can be handy. I'm doing a goals imminent podcast this week, as per usual. Last week we said Lukic was at Fulham was due an assist, and he duly obliged because he's on corners. He's a defensive midfielder, but so that just shows the importance of just being on those set pieces. Anyway, spiel over. Here's the list. A couple of Arsenal guys who aren't Gabriel, first of all. Timber and Calafiori. Minutes per expected goal involvement, the best out of any attacking defenders. Every 198 minutes for Timber, every 251 minutes for Calafiori. Timber's created 8 chances. He's had 7 shots inside the box. These are huge underlying stats. Calafiori, 8 shots inside the box. 8! He's a defender. 4 chances created. Both of them have 3 attacking returns already, and obviously, then get clean sheets as well. Yeah, how about either of those instead of Gabriel, or how about these as one of these as well as Gabriel?
Yeah, they're very interesting. I recorded Arsenal Newcastle on Sunday and I watched it last night. And one of the main takeaways was Timber again. He looked really, really good. I like him more than Calafiori. I feel like he's
Yeah.
more comfortable, more natural on the ball
Okay.
when he's in the final third. There was one occasion when, Timber was basically had a free header about 6 yards out in open play. Nick Pope made a really good save. There's always this slight fear, Timber, competition from Ben White, Calafiori's got Lewis Skelly, there's Champions League, and Gabriel always feels safest for minutes. Now, Gabriel will probably miss a game at some point, but he feels like the easy pick. But I do think people this week who are buying an Arsenal defender should definitely give Timber a lot of thought, and maybe I need to do that as well.
Yep.
Maybe back up what I'm seeing, and not just make the boring easy choice of going Gabriel. He's got his goal now, so maybe he doesn't get one for a couple of weeks. So yeah, I think it's actually really close for me between Timber and Gabriel now, having watched that game back.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think I'm going to wildcard this week. I was planning for game week 8, so all of these tables are really useful for me as well, and anyone else who's just making transfers or wildcarding or free hitting even. It's actually an okay week to free hit if you're going to use your wildcard a bit later and you haven't got a lot of Arsenal. Ollie Watkins has now got off the mark, playing Burnley next. It's quite a good week to free hit, and I have been tempted, but I found that most of the players I wanted to free hit I actually still wanted permanently. Anyway, so yeah, Timber and Gabriel is also a decision I'm making. So I'm going to mention Gabriel. He's much further down this list here. Minutes per expected goal involvement every 1,000 minutes. That's poor. Goal attempts in the box, 3. Chances created, 0. Defensive points per appearance. So Timber and Calafiori, none. He's got 0.7, so he can get defensive contributions as well. And I think that's overall, it's the quality. The thing with Gabriel is his pedigree of getting those goals like he did at the weekend. So whilst he's only had 3 shots inside the box, Timber's had 7, Calafiori 8. And even though the expected stats say that Timber and Calafiori's goal involvement from those shots is more potent than Gabriel, I still feel that Gabriel is the one, if the team needs that goal in that last minute, he's the guy. So it just makes, but it is, yeah, you're starting to, it's now, 500,000. That's a lot for someone like me and you whose team value is not so good. Well, my team value is not very good anyway.
Yeah, and again, I think in my scenario, I mean, my rank is heading towards there's 12 million players for the first time, and I need to try not to get there.
Yeah.
Then maybe I don't. If I think Gabriel's going to be the most popular pick, which he definitely will be, then maybe I should just go Timber for a bit of a differential.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you're just to say you're 7 million in the rankings now, and well, you were 5 million. So that's the power of Haaland. But that also shows how much you can go back up another couple of million with each game week, especially with those sort of differentials. Next player is to Kuiper at Brighton. Now, he was on many pre-game week 1 watch lists. A few teams there. He's actually gone down in price, but he got off the mark. Goal attempts in the box, 1, and he's got a goal from that as well. Created a couple of chances, but his minutes per expected goal involvement is every 251 minutes. So he's certainly getting there. He has taken a corner as well. He was benched. While he's not he is a regular starter, but I think he was coming back from injury. So I think he's normally going to be the starter there. So yeah, he's one to consider. 4.4. He's come down in price, and Brighton's fixtures are really good coming up. So they're the 3rd on the fixture ticker from now until game week 12. They've got Wolves away, good fixture. Newcastle at home, it's a good fixture for Brighton. Manchester United away, good fixture for Brighton again. Leeds at home, Crystal Palace away. It's a derby, so anything can happen. So all the Brighton Crystal Palace stats we've got go out the window in a derby. And also they don't have Zaha, so they can't win 1-0. And then Brighton have Brentford, which is the derby of billionaire gambling people who have chairman who are billionaire gamblers derby there. So yeah, these are good fixtures. So yeah, could be considered. I don't know. It's the lack of clean sheets, though, I think, right?
Yeah, the quite where I was aware of him from some other fancy platforms last couple of years. He's always been a bit of a monster for attacking returns. Picked up the unfortunate injury, but now he's back and on the score sheet. It's every time I think of Brighton, no matter how good their defenders are in an attacking
Yeah.
sense, it's very hard to trust them for clean sheets, isn't
Yeah.
it? As you know as a fan. So
Yeah.
I think there'll always be someone else that I prefer. Especially, I try not to say it too much, but DEFCON guys, they're just more
Yeah.
attractive, aren't they?
Yeah. Next one's Munoz. He's in your side, but if you could go back now, would you have got Richards or another cheaper Crystal Palace defender instead?
Yeah, I think that's an easy answer. I think if I was starting game week 1 again, it's the guys who get the extra 2 points very often. Other Palace guys, Sinesis, Tarkowski's, that's the game we're playing this season. And I need to transition a little bit from the Poro types and the Cucurella types
Yeah.
to more of these guys.
Yeah, certainly. So anyway, Munoz is 5.6. Has actually gone up in price. Obviously, regular starter, minutes per expected goal involvement every 287 minutes. Goal attempts in the box, 8. Chances created, 4. He's got a slight chance of DEFCON as well. And obviously, those 3 clean sheets, plus same with all Crystal
Yeah.
Palace defenders.
I probably will keep him though because I think he maybe is one of the exceptions to the rule where
Yeah.
in any fixture he's a goal threat.
Yeah.
We've seen that again against Liverpool. Very close on one occasion. So I'll be definitely moving Cucurella Poro on before I move Munoz.
Next name, Anderson of Fulham. Now, Fulham's fixtures aren't very good coming up. They're okay, but so you've got Bournemouth away, can't see a clean sheet there. Arsenal at home, can't see a clean sheet. Newcastle away, can't see a clean sheet. Then you've got Wolves, Everton, and Sunderland, could get some clean sheets there, but it's those DEFCONs. 5 out of 6 games he's got them. But it's that attacking threat as well. Once again, there's always, I hear on the commentary, Anderson's shot from a set piece. He's had 3 shots inside the box, created a couple of chances. A massive haul is imminent, but he's already got double digits. So I think he's a standard. He's in your team. So
Yeah, he's currently in my starting 11, and he will probably stay in it regardless of which Arsenal defender I buy. I think I'd be more inclined to bench Van Dijk possibly against Chelsea than
yeah.
Anderson. Anderson's he's been so steady. He's been so steady, and I think attack and return shouldn't be too far away either.
No. Okay, Porro is next. You've already said he's on the chopping block. He has to really. He's a clear 500,000 more than Romero, and almost 1 million more than Van der Ven. And he was benched at the weekend. But that's not normal. That was just because of, they're going to be playing 3 times a week, so that could happen again. He's created 10 chances. He's taken 10 corners as well. So he's doing all right for that. Simmons is taking a lot of those set pieces off him, though. He's had just that 1 shot inside the box. He's just not worth that extra money. I mean, if I was wildcarding, Van der Ven would be in.
Yeah, Porro unfortunately he's suffering from the new scoring system as well. There's just too many others that are more attractive, and also, you said it already. Simons will take a lot of corners. Kudus has been taking them from one side as well. When I've been watching it closely because I have Porro, when Simons and Kudus are on the pitch and Porro doesn't get many at all, if any. So, and also Spence started the season really strongly at left back.
Yeah.
He will get game time at right back as well as they, manage the different competitions and all that. So yeah, Porro unfortunately it's time for him to go, I think.
Okay. Next name is someone who was on pre-Game Week 1 lists, dropped off. He's gone down to 4.4. It's Diouf at West Ham. Now, they've had a change of manager. They've had a change of manager to a manager we know very well at Nottingham Forest for defenders. Their fullbacks and their centre-backs are good mine of points. He's doing pretty well here. So he's not getting the DEFCON, but he could start doing that. We never know. He's got minutes per expected goal involvement every 548 minutes. So not all that good, but he's had 6 chances he's created. This is under Potter's West Ham. 2 shots inside the box, created 6 chances. He's taken 7 corners. He's already got 3 assists. He's ticking along nicely. And so if I'm on him watch tonight. Again, so we're recording this on Monday morning ahead of the Everton West Ham game. So I'm looking out for him. I'm looking out for a start. I'm looking out for some DEFCON. It doesn't have to get the full points, but I'm just looking to get that because West Ham's fixtures are not bad. After they get Arsenal out of the way, game week 7, they play Brentford at home. They got Leeds away, Newcastle, Burnley, Bournemouth. So clean sheets possible for about half of those matches. Possible DEFCON as well. Possible assist potential in loads of those matches. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, interesting. I'd probably put Juve in a similar category to Munoz, where he is one you can consider over centre backs.
Yeah.
He has passed the eye test so far, taking corners and stuff like that, and we know he's very good from open play as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, all eyes Monday night. First of all, get that first start under the new manager. Gives us the confidence to maybe go there after the Arsenal
Yeah.
fixture. And yeah, Nuno, defense first manager, 4.4 million, attacking defender. I think a lot of people will be interested.
It's worth noting as well the bench boost for those who haven't used their bench boost yet, because Burnley have two good fixtures, game week 8 and game week 9. So Burnley play Leeds at home and then Wolves away. So that means there's a lot of teams with Dubravka in, Stev. Well, there's a few. There's a particular Burnley midfielder I'll mention in a minute. All of these players here, that's a good time to bench boost because you've got them, and so that does mean that youth can be in the category as well because game week 8 and 9, by coincidence, West Ham have great fixtures: Brentford at home, Leeds away. So youth for those looking to bench boost in game week 8 or 9, I think is a really good option. Really good option. Next name is Tarkowski. DEFCON points per appearance 2. You get 2 every game, every single game. It's like cheat code, but you've got to pay for that. It's 5.5. Minutes per expected goal involvement poor, 900 minutes. One shot, one chance created. I'm I'm not sure. I think if I was wildcarding now, which I may well do, I don't think I would have Tarkowski.
Yeah, I think your reaction sums up Tarkowski as an FPL pick this season. You look at him, you think he's so obvious. You look at the DEFCONs, he gets it every week, and then it's just like, it's Tarkowski, it's Everton. I don't know if
What
I can
else
do that.
is there?
What else can I get instead? So,
Yeah,
but we'll look back at the end of the season. We'll probably all say, yeah, we all should have just probably had Tarkowski. So,
yeah,
yeah, wildcarders. I think no matter when you wildcard, Tarkowski, Senesi are probably the first that you need to consider
yeah.
at least, even if you don't end up going there.
I think if I was going to make a move and just to give up, that's it. I'll make my move and then I'm just going to go ship my team to the end of the season. I'll just get
That could
Tarkowski.
be me.
That could be, but yeah, it's just get him in because at least I know I'll get 4 points every week for that one. But yeah, Crystal Palace away. No, sorry, Crystal Palace at home. Man City away. Tottenham at home. Sunderland away. Fulham at home. Manchester United away. Couple of clean sheets out of that lot until game week 12. Possible, but 4 points. So it's good, but you're getting similar sort of things from Anderson, who's a million cheaper. And
Yeah, I think that. Sorry, Colin. Yeah, that's you finish first, and I'll come in.
I was just going to say, and another name, Senesi as well, who's still cheaper than Tarkowski and is also on 2 DEFCON points per appearance.
Yeah, and I think that's the key because most teams have a very powerful Erling Haaland. Some
Yeah.
people still have Salah. Once you throw Saka, Gyökeres, Gabriel into the mix this week, then funds are tight, and that's why Tarkowski misses out in most squads because you just go 4-5 instead.
Yeah, those fixtures as well. All right. But, all right. Senesi, Bournemouth, 4.9. So if I was wildcarding today, which I may well do, I've missed out on his price rise already. So, and I think Senesi has to be in there. But Bournemouth's fixtures aren't great. But once again, he's another 4 points a match game. So he's got Fulham at home, Crystal Palace away, Nottingham Forest at home. So they're good. Next 3. Man City away, not so good. Aston Villa away, could be good. West Ham at home. So it's really only one fixture there that's pretty bad, but it's just DEFCON. So just having a look, remind myself of your team. Is
Don't have him.
Senesi in there?
No.
Perhaps Senesi should be in there.
Yeah, Senesi definitely should be in there. I think he's the no-brainer must-have FPL defender this season. I'd definitely go him over Tarkowski. There's still a good
Yeah.
price difference, and He's doing it every week,
Hmm.
and I know the numbers don't really suggest it here, but I always feel like Senesi has, more goal threat than someone like a Tarkowski as
Yeah.
well. We've seen it a couple of seasons back where he had a few goals and, quite back-to-back game weeks possibly. Got the assist, I'm pretty sure, at the weekend as well. He's just he's a target for the set pieces, as is Tarkowski, of
Yeah.
course, but hasn't really been doing it recently. So yeah, even if you're wild carding, don't be put off by the price rises. Don't think, could have gone him at 4.5. 4.9 is still a really good price for Senesi.
There's no Newcastle defenders on here, but do consider them as well. Burn. I think Livramento's got a nasty injury. I'm not sure about that. It didn't look good. I haven't heard any latest. But personally, I think I might go for Pope because Petrovic could have been a good one, but Senesi's just getting those extra points. Whereas I'm not sure about which defender there, and I think Pope could be a quite good one for to get their Newcastle defence because they got Nottingham Forest, Brighton. I'm not expecting a clean sheet there, obviously. Fulham at home, then West Ham, Brentford, and then Man City. So there's potential for a lot of clean sheets there. So you can consider a Newcastle defender as well.
Yeah, I really like Nick Pope as a pick,
Yeah,
especially for wild carders. I think I mentioned that last week as well.
yeah,
If you're going for a defender, Dan Burn,
yeah.
centre back or left back, played left back at the weekend, and hopefully Livramento is not out long term, but it didn't look good.
Yeah,
That might mean Trippier could come back into the picture for us as well.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's Pope number one, I think, from the defence.
Yeah, that I just smile inside when I think of Dan Burn because being an ex-Brighton player, and he moved, with good luck from the team to his childhood club, Newcastle, and he's I would say a borderline well, he's definitely a cult legend, but he's getting there. He's getting there. It's been one of the best they've had, like most
Yeah,
most likable players because he's
yeah,
just always there, always turns up. He's actually really talented. He's not
yeah.
just like a big lump. He's really, really talented footballer.
Yeah, one of the most underrated defenders in the league, I would say.
So good, so good. Okay, let's move on to midfielders. Okay, there are some good names on here as well, and there are names that those that wildcard in game week 4, like yourself, game week 6. Some of these names aren't going to be on there, so these are for the wildcarders in game week 7, 8 onwards, and there's going to be some interesting names. Sarr is back. He came back with a goal. Crystal Palace's fixtures have got Everton, Bournemouth next two, brilliant. Then they got Arsenal, and then they got Brentford, Brighton, and Wolves. It's a quite good run. Just one or two tricky games in there. Sarri 6.4. If I had more money and I was wildcarding, I would get him in. Minutes per expected goal involvement, non-penalty is the best. 116 every 116 minutes out of the people that we're looking at here, the midfielders for you to target here. Chances created 2, shots on target 3. He's got 3 goals. He's only in 3.3% of teams. He's gone 29 FPL points. Everton away, Bournemouth at home next. If I were you and I was where you are in the rankings, I would get Sarr in because he is a major differential for those who've already wildcarded.
Yeah, and it's one of those, people won't go there because they're trying to get Arsenal players in
Yeah.
this week. Maybe my third transfer could be for someone like this, just to change things up a wee bit. And Sarr, yeah, I think he's a fantastic pick. He was a great pick before he got injured. He's back. He scored. This Crystal Palace team is so, so good. I think they're unbeaten in 17 or 18 games in
Yeah.
all competitions. Yeah, Pino looks a really good addition. Kamada's been really good
Yeah.
recently, and Sarr basically plays out of position, alongside Matera quite often. So many picks in that team. I've got Munoz. I would prefer to have Sarr, of course,
Yeah.
and yeah, certainly high on my watch list.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the money potentially. Potentially, I'm not sure. But certainly after this week with Fernandez, I mean, I think that's probably. I mean, I've got Fernandez. I'll probably keep Fernandez if I wildcarded. But game week 8, I would like to get rid of him. So this is a sort of a game week 8 list, perhaps, for you of midfielders, but they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so next name is Brian Mbomo. Now this is interesting. If you were wildcarding this week, but would you have Brian Mbomo instead of Bruno Fernandes?
I don't think so. I think I'd still have Bruno.
Okay.
And maybe that's not the best. Maybe I'm just too biased because I have him and I've got faith. I've put my faith in him and it hasn't worked so far. But it's just very close to DEFCON again. And if he keeps penalties, which he may not now because he has missed 2, then Bumo's going to be in the running, Cunha's going to be in the running, but and Bumo's been, United have been a bit of a disaster again, as
Yeah,
usual. Why do I have two of them? I keep asking myself, but it was the Cunha injury. I just benched him, and then I wasn't going to sell him before two big
yeah,
fixtures. But yeah, Bumo's been actually quite good. Looks good in every game. He's always close to points. But again, if I was wild carding, I might have zero.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's at home to Sunderland. I think it's still that. Anyway, so he's created 12 chances, six on targets. He's only got that one goal. What an underperformer. He's in 15% of teams. He's only on 21 points, considering those underlying stats there. Yeah, he's a very, very strong contender. On a wild card, the Bruno Fernandes or Brian Mbeumo. It's quite tricky for those who've already got Bruno Fernandes because you're literally removing him before that Sunderland game. But if I did, I think it would be for him, Brian Mbeumo. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably going to remove Cunha. It's easier when you've already got Bruno. Traditionally on paper, Manchester United team playing home to a newly promoted team looks great, but at the moment, Sunderland have been really good so far this season.
Yeah.
Manchester United just got, destroyed by Brentford. So it doesn't give me any I don't have any hesitation in, getting rid of a Manchester United attacker ahead of Sunderland because, yeah, I think being doubled
Yeah.
up it's too many eggs in that basket.
Yeah, definitely. Next name, Anthony Gordon. I don't know what to make of Anthony Gordon. He's had three chances, four on target. Obviously, he hasn't had a lot of starts because he's been suspended for some of these. Only 4 FPL points. He's 7.4. He's only in 1% of teams. They're not playing Alanga Barnes at the moment. Perhaps they should. And they're playing Gordon instead. I don't know. I don't think I could go there. I think it's just too. When you look at Sarr at 6.4 and Gordon at 7.4, I mean it's a no-brainer to get Sarr over Gordon, even though Newcastle's fixtures, as we said earlier, are really good.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could disagree with you there. Gordon, I think he only played around 70 minutes, which was a bit of a surprise. And like you say, they've got very good options, got alternatives on the wings. I have been saying for a couple of weeks though that I do really like Gordon for this game week 7 to game week 11, and I still do. He's the kind of player that I should probably be looking at.
Yeah,
He's definitely got a good chance
yeah,
of taking penalties as well. We don't know if Voltemata will take them or anyone else. But I agree, Sar for a million less for more secure minutes, playing more centrally, then I think it is a no-brainer.
yeah. You've got some good differentials here to pick from here. Sarr there, Gordon as well. Enzo Fernandez as well. Now, there's something with Chelsea. He's the next name. Minutes per expected goal involvement, non-penalty every 170 minutes. He's 6.7. He has created 7 chances. He has had 4 shots on target. He's got 5 attacking returns. Once again at the weekend. 39 FPL points. There's something not quite right about Chelsea at the moment. There's rumours that their owners aren't too happy with the manager at the moment. There's rumours of players being unrest. So that sort of similar Manchester United type vibes coming out. And of course, they lost to Brighton. Palmer still injured. It's like we'll talk about forwards in a minute with Pedro as well. I mean, I think that with Chelsea's fixtures are good coming up. Like not now. They've got Liverpool, but then they've got Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, Tottenham, Wolves, and Burnley. I'm starting to think if I was wildcarding game week 8 because of that Liverpool game in game week 7, from game week 8 onwards, I think I would just have Enzo Fernandez, and that was it. Just sort of keep him there.
Yeah, to me, and it's been like this for a while, Manchester United, Chelsea, similar thoughts when it comes to FPL and just
Yeah,
overall, teams. It's
not
just,
right.
yeah, it never just seems great there. You never really know what kind of performance you're going to get. And that's why I'm, having doubts over Joe Pedro, as I'm sure other people are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's my position. He's highly owned. I can maybe just jump off before others do. The Enzo does find a way to take over though. He does have lots of routes to points, take some set pieces,
Yeah.
penalties from time to time. But yeah, it's again, just give me Sarr over Enzo.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't this week because of that Liverpool game, but it's onwards there. So for those with a Manchester United midfielder, game week 8 could be Enzo time. Next name's Grealish, ticking along nicely. Can't play game week 8 against Man City, as we know. His parent club there. But yeah, four assists, create 13 chances. A couple of shots on target. Him, Dewsbury Hall, and Dye. And Dye was very popular on wildcarders. But yeah, I think more people will be looking at Everton tonight. Dewsbury Hall is on 4 yellow cards. But yeah, Grealish, he's still in the mix though, isn't he?
Yeah, it's just been really good, and I fully expect another good performance from him on Monday night.
Mm.
Again, I'm really looking forward to watching that Everton game because I don't have any
Yeah.
attackers, and I would like one soon. So I'll
Yeah.
be watching,
Okay.
Grealish, Dewsbury Hall, and enjoy closely.
Right now,
Just
oh
skip
sorry.
the next one, Joe.
No, I was
Skip the
going to
next one.
say, and now our regular segment where I try and persuade you to get Jaden Anthony in, and you say I'm going to avoid him all season and dodge his points. You did it again this weekend. I said get Jaden Anthony in, and he scored for Burnley. Now Burnley's fixtures are pretty good, and if you haven't bench boosted yet, you can play him. But anyway, he's got Aston Villa away next. Which is okay. Leeds at home, Wolves. They got Arsenal. That's tricky. Then West Ham, and then Chelsea, which you never know with. He's only 5.6. I think he may go up in price again. He's created 7 chances. He's had 7 shots on target. He's got an assist. He's got 4 goals so far. This is in a Burnley team, so he has got a good share of the goals there. So if you think they're going to score, if I was wildcarding, I think I'd be getting him in. I've already started.
You would have to get him in.
I have to get him in now, but I've
If you wild card this week and don't have him, you're going to hear from me next week.
but also what I like about wildcards, and I kind of liked it with Game Week 6 ones as well, is that double pivot of a sort of a 5 point something. You've got Dewsbury Hall, you've got Reinders, you've got Anthony, you've got Stack at Leeds. You've got a lot of options in that category there that you can go for that are sort of quite steady picks. Anyway, I'll do it again. You should get Jaden Anthony in.
It's really starting to annoy me now. I'll be following the scores at the weekend, and once the Burnley goal notification comes up, I know
Yeah.
who's going to be involved, whether it's goal or assist. I think, right, here we go again, Monday
Yeah.
morning. This is
Yeah.
just perfect for Joe.
Just
But
Jaden Anthony.
yeah, in all seriousness, he's been really good. He's been really good. He's doing the business. He's cheap. He's great for bench boosters if you haven't used it
Yeah.
already, as we always speak about. If you've already got Dubravkas and Esteves and Ekdals, and you can add an Anthony or a Foster to that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, good pick. But again, I'm not going to be chasing the goals already scored.
No. Next name is Minter at Brighton. I mean, this show is going to be a little bit longer because we've got a lot of names because Mark's got 3 transfers to make. We've got a lot of names to go through, and I think a lot of people will be considering either transfers or wildcarding maybe this week or next week. Anyway, Minter is at 5.9 at Brighton. 8 chances created, 3 shots on target. He's already had 2 assists. He's already got a goal. He's only in 1.9% of teams. He's got Wolves next, then Newcastle, Manchester United, Leeds, Crystal Palace and Brentford. You can play him every single week. Eye test wise, he looks Brighton's best player. Brighton looked great though. I mean, his goal, his cross for the one of the goals was amazing at the weekend. But he is, yeah. There's a lot of choice there, but I think he's a really good one. Even if he's benched, he'll come on, and of course he's playing against his former club in Game Week 8, Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, and you say there if he's benched, he'll come on. I think the way he's playing at the moment, it's really hard for
Yeah.
Hurtsler to bench him. He's been their shining light. He's been absolutely fantastic this season so far, and I think FPL wise at 5.9 million. Again, I'm probably in the market for differentials in the next couple of weeks. Then he's up there with the likes of Sar,
Yeah.
who can be a real game changer for
Yeah.
me. If I had if I can have a Minty in my team to get a 10 pointer when everyone else gets 2 pointers, it would be quite useful.
Yeah, I'm very tempted. I don't know. Just have a look at my wildcard draft. No, he's not there yet. Can't quite get to him, but if I
Is
can,
is Anthony in there?
maybe. I'm going to be doing a wildcard video this week, so see if it's a Jaden Anthony one. But Minter, I definitely want. But yeah, I've got my eye on him. Definitely. Last midfielder before we move on to forwards. Eze, 7.5. He's looking good. Should start, but you never know. He created 3 chances, 5 shots on target, passing the eye test, a couple of assists so far. If you want to Gyökeres, Saka, defender, are probably the way to go. A couple of defenders maybe, and Saka. Eze's going to miss out, but he's already in 12.6% team, so he's not missing out for everyone.
Yeah, it was encouraging to see him against Newcastle kind of playing more centrally. Nick Pope made 2 really good saves from from Eze. One in particular, I think Eze was in shock,
Yeah.
as to how he got his hands to it. So if he gets a minutes and he plays in those positions, I would probably rather have him than Saka for, a good chunk cheaper. But the problem is we're never going to be sure how much of Eze in that role we're going to get
Yeah.
and how many minutes he gets. And one of my takeaways from the game as well was, Eze did have those good opportunities, but I felt like the game did pass him by quite a lot too. He kind of drifted in and out of it, so that wasn't, overly encouraging. So,
No.
yeah, I still think there's probably safer Arsenal picks to go for.
Yeah. Certainly. Okay, last group of players, forwards. Okay, so I'm aware of the time, so I'm going to try and go through these as quickly as possible. First name, obviously you don't have, it's Haaland. Minutes per expected goal involvement, non-penalty every 62 minutes, 13 shots on target, 8 goals and an assist. So this is what you're up against, but he costs 14.4. Chris Wood, you don't want anymore. So you're looking, I mean, to move him out, possibly because he might lose his place, might not. He's created 3 chances, 6 shots on target. So he's doing okay, but it's just okay at 7.5. Could you replace him with Mateta, who is 7.5, who's next in this list with 9 shots on target, 2 goals? Should be getting much more with that. He's only in 1 in 10 teams.
Yeah, I've liked Mateta all season and last season. As long as he kind of turned the corner at one point as a Crystal Palace asset and turned from an okay striker into a really, really good striker. Looked really good against Liverpool again. Rattled one off the woodwork from outside the box, which you don't see from him too often. Just a really good player playing for a really good team. And I would certainly, if I had a blank slate now, I would definitely have Mateta over Chris Wood, and I would probably have Mateta over Joe Pedro as well. So I feel like my forward line is going to get a shake up in the near future, and I think it's going to be hard for me to go for anyone else in that price bracket other than Mateta.
Yeah. Okay. Richarlison's next. Solanke's still there, lurking around. Should be back after the international break, and that's a bit of an issue for Richarlison there. But nevertheless, 4 attacking returns, 3 goals and assists, 4 chances created, 5 shots on target. He's only 6.8, and his minutes per expected goal involvement non-penalty every 241 minutes. One to consider.
One to consider, but it always feels a little bit short term with him. I've seen a few people
Yeah.
go, free hit Richarlison this week, maybe short term on a wild card. But yeah, Solanke, Colomwani, Richarlison can often be 70 minutes with him too. I know he's probably been getting more recently, but that probably reduces over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, just again, I look at this list and I say, find 0.7 for Mateta instead.
Gyökeres is next, already in, already in your team, 9 million. The narrative with him really is that he's a flat track bully. So he's a good striker, but he's not an elite striker. So he will get plenty of goals in that Arsenal side in easier matches. And I like that narrative. I'm going to stick with that. I think if I was wild carding, I would get him in. Got 3 goals so far in slightly tricky games as well. Oh no, actually that was 2 in the Leeds game, I think, weren't they? Yeah, minutes per expected goal involvement, non-penalty every 244 minutes. So yeah, pretty good. He's already in your team, so not much more to say about him. It's the next name that's interesting. The other reason I like Gyökeres is that it's only 1.6 to move to Isak at Liverpool. Now he's only had 1 start, 2 starts. Minutes per expected goal involvement, non-penalty every 246 minutes. No chances, no shots on target, no goals, no assists. But he's in 12% of teams, and we know what he's capable of. So he's basically coming back from pre-season 6 weeks after everyone else. So I think he could be a good asset, but perhaps not now. But definitely, it's a tricky one because, I mean, you're going without Salah anyway. I probably will go without Salah. I just don't think he's worth the money at the moment. Manchester United at home, game week 8, looks a good entry point for Isak.
Yeah, I think is that game week 8 you said. I think
Yeah,
that's what I'd be thinking as well because he's obviously not as sharp as everyone else in the league. We've got the international break, isn't it, between 7 and 8? So
yeah,
that's an extra 2 weeks for him to get up to speed. Probably goes away with
yeah,
Sweden and gets sharper, gets more minutes. It's my feeling on Isak as well is I'm not in a major rush even when he is fully fit because Ekatike's been really good, and I expect him to still get minutes. Now, it could be on the left, it could be through the middle. But again, I think Isak could often get 70,
yeah.
75, whereas, Gyökeres and these guys probably feel a little bit better for minutes. I know Gyökeres had a few early subs, but I think in better fixtures there might not be as much of that. So Isak, Isak's going to have to do quite a bit, I think, to force his way into my
Hmm.
thinking. Because I just think they don't need him for 90 minutes in every game, and he's probably not going to have penalties, so he's not the Newcastle Isak anymore,
No.
and I think we need to remember that.
Okay, next name is Watkins. He's probably, I think he's great for a free hit. I think he's great for those who are wildcarding game week 8 or 9 onwards, because he's got off the mark now. It's no surprise they brought Elliott in, although it was Buendia who made way, but who's actually came away with the biggest haul in that match. So Aston Villa might have turned the corner. Four chances created, 3 shots on target, just that 1 goal so far, but could be more for Watkins. But I've got rid of him, and with Tottenham, Man City, Liverpool, and Bournemouth up after Burnley, I think he's probably a hard sell in game week 8, but not for game week 7.
Yeah, I think on a, good to see him score, lovely finish, but on a 6 game
Mm.
sample, Aston Villa attackers is not where you want to be this season.
Yeah.
But certainly if you have him, you keep him for
Mm.
this game week, and if you are on a free hit, you certainly have him on that as well. But he's not a, we've read through quite a few good options there,
Yeah.
and I don't think Watkins, beats any of those.
No. There's absolutely loads of options, I think, up front, but we haven't got the money for them, and we want our Sackers and Gabriel and all those kinds of players. Voltemade at Newcastle. Newcastle's fixtures are strong. Visser should be returning after the international break, but then he's off to AFCON. So you've got this pocket of game week 8 to 16 or so where Voltemade, you're not sure if he's going to start each week. You would think he might, but he might not. He's had a couple of shots on target, a couple of goals so far. Newcastle's fixtures have been poor, but they're getting better. Yeah, he's another one. He's only in 3.6% of teams, but for me, it's the spectre of Visser.
Yeah, it's again watched 90 minutes of Newcastle Arsenal last night. Voltemata was really good. More his all-round play I was impressed with, holding up the ball, and I think he did a better job of that than Gyökeres did in the other half of the pitch. Got his goal, good header. Gabriel should have done better, of course. I'm pretty sure Voltemata hit the woodwork as well on one occasion. Might have been offside, I can't remember. But he looked good. But I know it's a very small sample size. I've only seen him play twice now. He doesn't strike me as someone who's going to score loads and loads of goals. He'll be a really good, effective
Yeah,
striker, and he'll probably bring others into the play quite a lot, and
yeah.
maybe picks up more assists maybe than some other forwards in the game. But I need to see more. I need to see more, and I need to see what happens when Wissa comes back. Do they play together? Is it one or the other? Again, I just think because he's so new and we've got such little info on him that we go for more tried and trusted for the time being.
Thiago at Brentford, I still think it's a good option at 6 million. I would be tempted to get him. Game week 8, got West Ham. So that's good for a bench boost there. I don't think I personally would better get to him, and I might have to go even cheaper for a third striker if I was wildcarding. But I think he's good. I was pleased he got his couple of goals. I recommend getting him on my transfer picks, transfer targets video. Thiago there. It's just the fixtures. They're the second worst up to game week 12. I've got Man City. West Ham is good, but then it just falls off a cliff a bit. Got Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, and then the Brighton fixture is a good one, game week 12. But there's not many good fixtures really for Thiago.
Yeah. Did you see his first goal against United?
I didn't actually see it. I listened to it.
Go have a look at it on,
Yeah,
on YouTube. Unbelievable finish.
yeah,
And it made me sit up and take notice of this guy. I know he's been fairly productive
yeah.
so far this season. He's coming off a huge injury. Really good goal scoring record. Previous to that, I think I remember looking up as well. So I've kind of said all along that I prefer Strand Larson in this price bracket, but that might be changing now. Maybe I'm leaning a bit more towards Thiago on, recency bias,
Yeah.
of course. But yeah, Brentford have been a lot better than I expected, and I'm sure others as well. Fully deserving winners in the Manchester United game. And yeah, Thiago certainly back on the radar.
Yeah, well, they've got this really good succession planning for their players and manager. So the managers come in and thinking, oh, new manager, but he's not really. He's sort of been there, knows the ropes. So it's just continuity. You mentioned Strand Larson. Here's next on the list. Just the 3 shots on target, no goals, no assists. Has been injured, coming back from injuries. Only 1.4% teams. What interests me is the fixtures. They've got Brighton, Sunderland, Burnley, Fulham, Chelsea, Crystal Palace up to game week 12. It's a good run. Second in our fixture ticker. But yeah, Thiago, even though the worst fixtures there, he might get chip away for the goals. And I think for 6.4, he's overpriced. I think I would like to see Strand Larson at 6 million, even 5.5. But
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
Well, I'm kind of just comparing the two of these guys in my mind now that I feel like at Brentford, Thiago's got a lot better creativity around him,
Yeah,
maybe. You know, the
yeah,
Damsgaard types, Dango's a handful.
yeah.
Jordan Henderson's been playing some really good balls towards Thiago as
Yeah.
well. I think he got the assist again at the weekend. So, yeah, Wales are in a bit of a rut at the moment. I know if they get out of it, it's probably going to be Strand Larson who leads that
Yeah.
charge. It's certainly a close call between those two, but I'm just going to say, yeah, Thiago at the moment is looking a better pick.
Okay. Just two more names left. Bowen next, 7.7. He has been getting. He's got a couple of goals. I had him on my game week one side and got rid of him since. 6 shots on target, created 4 chances. So he's always looked good under Potter's West Ham, but they've got a new manager now. So it Everton game. I'm on Bowen watch. 7.7 could be great for him. Such a steady Eddie. And then unfortunately they do have West Ham game week 7. Sorry, they have Arsenal in game week 7, but then the fixtures of Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, Burnley, and Bournemouth. It's a good run, like with Diouf as well. So I think Bowen and Diouf are probably going to get away from most that have already wildcarded or will wildcard this week. But from game week 8, that's going to be the difference. We're going to start to see a few West Ham if they've shown anything even if they've just shown eye test wise game week 6 and game week 7. Bowen, he could be a good one for you. 6.3% ownership.
Yeah, I feel like the poor man of FPL, he could be a good one for you, you loser, you loser. But yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing as you
Yeah,
were mentioning his name there. I
yeah,
need I probably need to be different, and that's why I wanted to play this season anyway. I don't
yeah.
want to naturally fall into the template now either because it's probably not going to benefit me too much.
No.
Um, so yeah, Bowen. I mean, we talk about him all the time. We both really like him.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
he always finds a way, even in poor West Ham teams, to get returns. So yeah, I'm again watching the Everton guys closely Monday night, but as always, we'll be keeping a very close eye on Bowen as well.
Yeah. And last name is Foster, who I think I would put in a wildcard team, weirdly, because I still like the Mark Gui template from early on, which I still have. But I like that template of a cheap striker because there's so much in defence, so much in midfield at the moment, I think. And although there are a lot of forward attackers, you've got to rely on those goals. And that's not going to be every week. They're not all going to score like 38, 40 goals a season. But Foster here with Burnley, he's playing. He's already got a goal. He's already got assist. He's 5 million, so he's that little bit more, but he's a little bit more than that Mark Gui one. But he's a player that you can bench as your first sub every week. And for a bench boost, I think you've got that. So you've got, game week 7, Aston Villa, but also game week 8, Leeds at home, brilliant. Wolves away, brilliant. So he is a good first sub for a bench boost. And I wouldn't, if I had to play him, oh dear, how sad, but I'd be quite happy with that. Certainly better than Mark Gui. But yeah, I think he's okay. I think he's okay.
Yeah, I think he's more than okay if you have a bench boost left. I would prefer to have a 3-5-2 with Foster on the bench than a 3-4-3 with your boy Anthony because I just feel
How
like
about both?
don't go too far, don't go too crazy, Joe. There's I feel like we're after looking at midfielders lists and forwards lists, and I feel like the midfielders list is a lot more exciting and there's more options, more viable options.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking to bench boost soon, I think I would go Foster in a 3-5-2. And again, it's a good long-term structure.
Yeah, exactly. You could also have Jaden Anthony as well, and then dump Jaden Anthony after a couple of game weeks or so. But okay, just very finally, we're going to have a look at your captaincy matrix because you're up against Haaland and Salah. So let's see, game week 7, Haaland away to Brentford. It's going to be popular just on the back of what he's done, but it's probably not the best fixture. Bruno at home to Sunderland. He may not be as popular because of what he's done, as in Mr. Penalty. Saka at home to West Ham, but will he get 90 minutes? It's a tricky one, the game week 7 captaincy for you.
Yeah, again, Haaland owners, I think you just stick with him the way he's playing. What do we say there? 62
Yeah,
minutes per expected goal involvement. Just he's on another level again
yeah.
this year. It will take the most willpower I've ever had for anything in life to captain Bruno Fernandes again after the -2. But
Yeah,
on paper, for me, he looks as good as anything captaincy
yeah, yeah.
wise. If I bring in Saka, I like him as captain, but I feel like I might prefer Yorker as captain because
Yeah,
I think he gets more minutes possibly,
yeah,
and I still think Gyökeres takes the next pen, although none of us know that for sure. Would have been very useful if that penalty didn't
yeah.
get overturned at the weekend. So yeah, at the moment I'm probably leaning Gyökeres captain. I was more encouraged by Gyökeres in the Newcastle game than I have been in the previous couple of games. I
Okay.
feel like he's maybe getting up to speed a little bit more with the Premier League, and I like the fixture. So it's probably, yeah, Gyökeres captain, Bruno Weiss, I
Yeah.
think.
Game week 8, that's the problem one. Haaland are home to Everton. Salah has got Manchester United there. Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's someone.
Jaden Anthony's home to Leeds.
There we go. There's your captain. So that's sorted. Let's have a look at your other options here. Semenyo has got Crystal Palace away. Not great. Arsenal got Fulham away. Could be okay, but I don't know. That's a tough one. Boy,
Yeah, I'm looking at the list of fixtures here in front of me, and I've kind of been dreading game week 8 for a while for the captaincy. I say game week 8, captaincy's been a disaster across the board for me so far, so nothing new there. But it could be game week 8 could be a week where I do something a little bit more rogue just because I have to.
yeah.
A Kudus at home to Villa or something like that, or even though Arsenal are away to Fulham, I don't think, an Arsenal captain's never a terrible option. So, Saka Gyökeres is probably back in the picture for me again that week.
Yeah, there is Isaac could be a good one, possibly for those wanting to punt. I genuinely think Jaden Anthony is a really good captaincy shout. That one. Let's go back to the Matrix. Just the final couple ones. Game week 9. Salah's got Brentford. It's okay. Palmer or Pedro, if you still got him, home to Sunderland. Bruno Fernandes at home to Brighton. I think that's actually a better fixture for the likes of Minter or Welbeck. And Haaland away to Aston Villa. So I think Haaland is going to be popular again. That's a tough one. Game week 9. Looking at the fixtures,
I'm just laughing because last week we did this and we said, yeah, you're going
Bruno
to
every week.
captain Bruno every week for the next 5 weeks. And you're like, maybe we won't do that now after
No,
what's just recently happened. So,
no.
but yeah, there's something about seeing Brighton at home for a captain that I always like. I just never really fancy Brighton for clean sheets. So I
Yeah,
do quite like Bruno game week 9. I might have forgiven him by then.
that's true. I mean, I can see Brighton winning, but yeah, I can definitely see
Goals.
them conceding as well. And very finally, game week 10. Saka.
I'll have quit by then, Joe. We don't need to do game week
No,
10.
you're all right, actually. No, game week 10 is quite a good one for you. So, yeah, Haaland has Bournemouth at home. It's actually quite tough. Salah has Aston Villa. That's okay. But Bruno has Nottingham Forest away. And Saka or Gyökeres has Burnley away. I think I would go for the Arsenal there. So, I think you're okay, game week 10.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Anytime I see an Arsenal type team playing a promoted team, I like Burnley probably most for captaincy as opposed to Sunderland or Leeds at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be. I think I'll be leaning heavily on the Arsenal guys next couple of weeks.
Okay. Okay. What we do there, we'll wrap it up there. Good luck with the game week. Good luck with your decision to whatever you're going to do with your 3 transfers. There's a lot of choice there. Please do press that like button. Does help us out, and obviously remember to subscribe as well. And do leave some comments in the chat. Make sure they're lovely though, because and also overall rank is not. Some people get a bit obsessed with it in the comments, but it is if you've got a red arrow and you low down the ranks, it's always going up.
Yeah, I'm the poster boy for people doing terribly. So I'm here to support my fellow strugglers.
Rightio, excellent. Take care. Good luck with the game week. See you soon.
Good luck all.